Welcome students to the next lecture in the series. Greetings of the day. I hope you are practicing well for ratio analysis. In this lecture we are about to study, or you can say practice, few numericals from ratio analysis. Here is a question for you. Till this point we have covered all the categories of ratios under the classification of ratios, and we have practiced individual questions on that. Now we are practicing overall full-fledged type of questions that may appear in your exam for 15 marks or so. I'm not saying that it is like all these questions are capable of appearing in exam for 15 marks, but this is the beginning from easy to difficult. You may see that here there is a balance sheet given to you of K Limited. With the help of this balance sheet, you need to calculate three ratios, that is your long-term funds to fixed assets ratio, then you need to calculate debt equity ratio and the liquidity ratios. We are given with share capital, debentures, P&L account, general reserve, creditors, proposed dividend, provision for taxation, and for fixed assets you do have building, machinery, then you have short-term investments, inventories, debtors, cash at bank, and prepaid expenses. Let us begin with long-term funds to fixed assets ratio. So for that we need to find out the long-term funds first of all, for which you have this shareholders fund plus the long-term loans. For shareholders fund, let us see that how to calculate the amount. You know that share capital plus P&L account plus general reserve plus the proposed dividend. These are the only items that are given here, and why we have included proposed dividends here, because until declared and paid they are part of your undistributed profits only. So you may see in the question that these are the only four items that we can consider for this category of question. So we are able to obtain the shareholders fund from this point. Then long-term loans, you can see long-term loans we are having, we are having 14% debentures for 4 lakh rupees, so we have considered it under long-term loans. Now next we need to consider fixed assets. For you to have buildings and machinery, that is 7,60,000, 7,20,000. Let us have a look to the solution. So we have mentioned that this is the amount for shareholders fund that we have calculated, 21,80,000. We have debentures under long-term loans, net fixed assets. We have two items mentioned here, and the ratio calculated as 1.74:1. Let us see the debt equity ratio next that we need to sort out. Formula you know very well, long-term debts upon the shareholders funds plus long-term debts can be taken. So we have taken that and calculated these values, and the value we are getting is 0.155. Then liquidity ratios, simply liquid assets upon the current liabilities. Liquid assets, we can see that we have three of them with us. Let us go to the question and have a look to the liquid assets. You are not supposed to include inventories in this. So short-term investments, debtors, and cash at bank, these three items are being included in this. So the ratio finally, and there are two current liabilities along with that. So finally the ratio is coming out as 1.90:1. So short-term investments are treated as your liquid assets, I just informed you, along with the debtors and bank, and the provision for taxation under current is treated as current liabilities, because you will be paying it in the near future. The next question, again a balance sheet is given to you. Along with that, credit sales are given as 4 lakh rupees, gross profit as 1,60,000. We need to calculate current ratio, inventory turnover ratio, proprietors fund to liabilities, quick or liquid ratio, and average collection period. Let us calculate one by one. First of all, to calculate current ratio, we would be needing the current assets and the current liabilities. Let us see which of these do we have: stock, debtors, and cash, and miscellaneous current assets. We have four items here. And here we can see creditors, bills payable, and other current liabilities. Okay, let us see the solution for current ratio. You may see the ones we just discussed are marked here. The values are being put. See the presentation and consider it, and the value is coming out as 2.42:1. The next is your liquid ratio. Liquid assets upon the current liabilities. Here only stock needs to be removed, rest everything would remain same. So liabilities are 62,000 same, and we have subtracted stock of 80,000 from the current assets. So it is coming out as 70,000 and the ratio is 1.13:1. Then we have inventory turnover, that is cost of sales upon the average stock. Let us see cost of sales is given to us or not. Actually we are having credit sales and the gross profit, so we can obtain cost of sales by subtracting these two. So 4 lakh minus 1 lakh 60,000. Average stock is 80,000. So we are getting inventory turnover ratio as 3 times. Let us see the next ratio that we need to find out. Average collection period can be calculated by debtors upon the credit sales into 365 days. So we can put the values and find it out as 41 days. Then proprietors fund to liabilities ratio. Owner's equity upon the total liabilities. Total liabilities, let us see, it is of 1,62,000 and owner's equity, we have two items. Total is this. Then in owner's equity, we have these two items. Share capital and reserves in surplus, and it is considered in the calculation. You may have a look to this. And then finally you are able to obtain this ratio as 1.59. Let us see some more questions. This is a pretty good question. This kind of a question can appear for 15 marks in exam for sure. So from these figures you need to appraise the financial position of the company from the point of view of liquidity. Okay. Liquidity, solvency, profitability and activities. See, in this question they have not mentioned that which ratios to be found out. They have just given you the categories. So you need to see first of all that which ratios are to be calculated in which category if it is given to you in exam. This is actually a good question. Then let us see. For liquidity you will be calculating your current ratio and quick ratio. Then for solvency we will be calculating debt equity ratio. There are many, but we will calculating the main important ones. For solvency, debt equity ratio and interest coverage ratio would be enough. For profitability, NPR, there is no need to calculate GPR if you are calculating NPR, and return on capital employed. These two are important. And for activity ratios, stock turnover, assets turnover is actually important. So let us see how to calculate all of these ratios one by one. We will simply calculate the current assets. Let us see what all information is given to us. We do have cash, sundry debtors, temporary investments, stock, all our current assets, prepaid expenses, again current assets. So total of current assets is given to you as 30,52,000 and total assets are given as 64 lakh. Then you have current liabilities, 10% debentures, equity, share capital and retained earnings. So current liabilities are of 8 lakh only. Okay. So from here only we are able to find that current assets and current liabilities, which we will be using in liquidity ratios. Now you can see simply that there is a statement of profit given to you where you are able to see the amount of sales, cost of goods sold, interest, net profit and the taxes. Okay. Then there is one more information that dividend declared on equity shares is given as 2,20,000. So for the liquidity ratios, we have just seen the value of current assets and current liabilities, and the ratio is pretty good, 3.82:1. Ideal is 2:1. You know that very well. For liquidity ratio, again it is supposed to be 1:1, and it is again better. It's 1.1:1. Then if I talk about debt equity ratio, long-term debts and shareholders fund. Let us see how to see the values. Under long-term debts, we do have 10% debentures, and share capital and retained earnings we do have. Okay, so that is only considered. Value is coming out as 0.57:1. Then next we have interest coverage ratio, for which we have to consider PBIT and interest charges. PBIT is directly given to you as 12 lakh and interest charges as 1,60,000, so it is coming out as 7.5 times. Then under profitability ratios, we are having net profit ratio, net profit after tax upon sales into 100. Both the values are there with us, and we can obtain the value as 13%. Then we have return on capital employed, that is PBIT upon the capital employed into 100. PBIT is 12 lakh. Upon the capital employed, we have calculated 44,12,000 into 100 is giving you 27.2%. A good return on capital employed. Then next is the activity ratios, that is stock turnover ratio, that is cost of goods sold upon the average stock. Cost of goods sold, we have seen that it is 28 lakh and the average stock is given as 20 lakh, which is giving you the value of stock turnover ratio, that is 1.4 times. Then assets turnover ratio last, that is sales upon the total assets. So sales is 40 lakhs, then total assets is 64 lakhs, so the ratio is coming out as 0.0625 times. You may find it till 2 decimal places, no big issue to calculate it for all. Then we have another question where debtors velocity, means debtors turnover ratio or the period is given to you. Creditors velocity, stock velocity is also given. GPR, that is gross profit ratio, is given as 25%. They are saying that the gross profit for the year ended 31st March 2004 amounted to rupees 4 lakh. Closing stock of that particular year is 10,000 more than the opening stock. So in that case also again we can consider opening stock as X and closing stock as X plus 10,000. Bills receivable is 25,000. Bills payable is 10,000. We need to assume all sales and purchases are on credit basis. So we need to find out the sales, sundry debtors, closing stock and sundry creditors. Let us see one by one how to calculate these. We are having the formula for sales. Simply you can calculate it from GPR, because you know gross profit ratio is equals to gross profit upon sales into 100, but we are having the gross profit and gross profit ratio both. So from there we are able to obtain the amount of sales, that is 16 lakh. Then we can calculate sundry debtors. The formula for this we have debtors turnover ratio, that months you can find out using that. So it's 12 months upon 3 months. How are we taking this debtors turnover ratio? It is given to you, debtors turnover ratio is 3 months. Debtors velocity is 3 months. So from there you are able to find out the debtors turnover ratio. So in a year you have 12 months. So every 3 months your turnover is moving on. So it's 4 times. Okay. Then you can consider the formula for debtors turnover ratio, that is equals to sales upon debtors. The sales we have already calculated is 16 lakhs. So from there we can find out the amount of debtors, that is rupees 4 lakh. You can find out trade debtors by subtracting bills receivable from it. That would come out as 3,75,000. Then for closing stock we need to consider stock turnover ratio, which is given as 8 months. Stock velocity actually is given as 8 months. So from there you can find out that it's 3 upon 2 times, or you can find it out in decimals. Let us see further. We can use the formula, that is cost of goods sold upon the average stock. Cost of goods sold you can calculate by subtracting gross profit from sales, which will come out as 12 lakh, and you can put it in the formula. 3 upon 2 we have calculated. This is the amount of cost of goods sold upon the average stock. From here you can find the value of average stock, that is 8 lakh rupees, and we have already assumed that the value we have you can assume it as X, or you can simply get it calculated from here as closing stock, because it is mentioned that it is more than 10,000. So you can do it like this, or you can assume it like X if you are not able to understand this. This is quite easy. The difference between these two is of 10,000 only. Then we can calculate the sundry creditors using the amount, this equation, cost of goods sold plus increase in stock, where we do have the values. Then creditors turnover ratio, we can see actually creditors velocity is given as 2 months. So from there we can find out the creditors turnover ratio, that is 6 times, and the formula is purchases upon the creditors. So from here we can find out the creditors, and finally after subtracting bills payable we can find out the trade creditors from this. See, for these kind of questions you just need to practice. Practice is the most important thing. If you are practicing well, you will be able to perform well in exam, because you must have studied this even at the +2 level before even. So if you have any queries regarding the questions on ratios, you may connect with me, you may write to me. Till then, study well. Thank you. Take care. Bye.